You laid there, took it, you pulled your legs together, you took all that dick, didn't complain, submitted, although you know you hate this, and you hate that he keeps saying, fuck me, nigga, give me this dick, nigga, you know, and you are taking it so well. I think that was more of a turn on because the more you submitted, the more powerful he felt that this big black nigga is giving you this dick. And then you're saying in your mind, it feels so degrading and humiliating for you to call this man a big black nigga, when I'm saying in his mind he also feels like he's taking power from you by degrading you and ramming all this dick up in you and making it very difficult for you to take it all. And with so much aggression, he's like assaulting your asshole and assaulting your body and forcing you down. And really, like you're saying, look, a part of me is allowing myself to be forced down. A part of me is allowing him to physically restrain me, but I am still really his daddy. I'm a white man. I still rule. My people still rule. I'm still a participant, willing or unwilling, and a beneficiary of white supremacy, and I'm a beneficiary of my ancestors and the slavery and all the things they have done to black people, and to take their property, take their gold, take their merchandise from them. And my people still subjugate black people psychologically, mentally, emotionally, physically, and even economically if they want to. Because the laws they fix, they can restrain you physically and enslave your ass in the goddamn prison complex whenever they fucking feel like this shit and decide if and when they're going to let your nigga ass go. So it's like in your mind you are very aware that because my skin is white, I am still on the side of the people that oppress your big black nigger ass while you fucking me in the ass saying, fuck me, nigger. So that is so powerful, and that's why I wanted us to have this conversation. And I'm glad you're so honest about it, because he might not realize, I think he does realize, because he has to keep coming to, in his mind, what his source of power is, and that's your asshole. That's the connection. Since I cannot be this white man, since I cannot be my own oppressor, or since I cannot overthrow this system of white supremacy, and he feels powerless as a big black nigger, and since he cannot become a white man or contribute to, be a party to the white supremacy, the only way he feels like he can connect to it, because I feel like also it's the self-hatred of being a nigger, but also wishing he could be black, wishing he could be white, and he could erase his blackness. That's why he's always around white people. He only eats, sleeps, works with, lives, and fucks white people. He dresses like white people. He talks and acts like white people. He really wants to assume the role of a white male. So since he cannot, the closest he can do is go up in a white male's ass that has power because of white skin privilege, and that I can tap into that source of energy, especially because this powerful white man that I perceive as powerful and powerless at the same time, because you're physically smaller and demure and you submit to it. Do you see what I'm saying, or tell me what you're thinking?
No, you're exactly right. I mean, and that's why I felt uncomfortable, because, you know, even though my friends would tell me this is not a problem, it's just sex, it's just a fantasy, I understand that fantasy is a result of a certain structure of race in American society. And that ultimately what's occurring here is, while, yes, this man is physically dominating me, he's still nonetheless begging me to give him something, and that is to call him a name that gets him off. So his orgasm is contingent upon this white man's willingness to do what he needs that white man to do. It's just, you know, meaning, I guess you can think of it as, you know, on the plantation, it's, you know, like, please feed me. You know, I'm begging you to feed me, and I will do all this work for you to feed me.
And fuck, because a lot of men and women were fucking or getting fucked by white men to get food, to get certain favors and benefits.
Right. And that's why I was always disturbed by this. And this is why, even though, you know, and this wasn't occurring, you know, because remember, this person was in a relationship at the time. This wasn't occurring every week. You know, I mean, this person would stop by irregularly, unannounced. I wouldn't see this person for 3 months, and then voila, you know, they're at my front door. Or they would call, I'm in the neighborhood, and I'm thinking, and I'm on my way. And I would think, oh, you are. And I guess because at that stage of my life I was somewhat depressed, I just let it happen. Because I also felt, well, you don't really deserve better than this, and maybe, you should just be happy that this guy that you find really attractive is willing to sleep with you, and even if he makes you say things you do not want to say, because I was dealing with my own, psychological issues at the time. But yes, I think you're right insofar as, it did put him in a role in which he was begging the white man for something he needed to have in order to feel fulfilled. And the structure of that relationship really upset me. And, to discuss this endlessly with my friends, and and my friends always just simply said, it's a fantasy. There's really no reason for you to problematize this. This is a fantasy. And because it's a fantasy, it doesn't have ramifications. But to me, I felt it did have ramifications because I was still nonetheless exacerbating this man's inability to come to terms with his blackness.
And the hatred of his blackness.
Right.
Because you're saying that when you're with this man, you found him appealing just as he was. You found him attractive, intelligent. You liked his voice on the phone before you met him. And you could love him as a person.
Yes.
And all that fuck me black nigga and all that never, ever entered your mind. You never wanted to humiliate this man this way. And you tried to get to know him, but he didn't want to be emotional with you. He didn't want to date you. He was saying, look, basically, this situation, this relationship is something that I pursue. I'm looking for a submissive, very slender-built, shorter white male that I can fuck in the ass and make this white man call me a big black nigga and say, fuck me, nigga. He made it very clear there is an agenda. This is the way he gets off. It sounds like he has a very serious addiction. And he has...
Yeah, no, and that's exactly why... right now that this person is telephoning me and they live in a different city, I'm thinking, I don't think I need this, because for me, the sex was never really that good, to be honest with you. Meaning, when you just have someone ramming, a rod up your ass, and just, there's no affection, it's just outright penetration, someone drilling a dick into your hole. It's not that fun. You're thinking, okay, maybe this will get good. Maybe this person will start to, maybe establish a rhythm with me. But no, it was just, it wasn't sex. He was fucking me. And there is a difference.
Just brutal.
And he would know he did this because I'd be splayed out on the bed, my head in a pillow. I couldn't move. There was one time I couldn't move for 15 minutes. And he just stood there and just simply said, oh, I'm so sorry. But then I was just speaking with him a week ago, and he asked me, do you remember that time I fucked you so hard you couldn't move? And I was just thinking,
So you're saying after he finished fucking you, you couldn't even get up?
Well, there were a couple of occasions, yeah.
So what do you go through when somebody does that, like fucks you so hard in the ass and they're deliberately doing this to you? You feel numb? What do you feel? You can't move your legs, you can't move your ass. What are you feeling?
You're tired, your ass hurts. You're just so tired, and you're just thinking, okay, I need to sleep this off. Because it's almost as if, it's like a migraine headache. It's just, you can't do anything about it. It's there, it hurts. And you feel somewhat ashamed because you're thinking, what just happened to me? It feels almost as if a truck hit you. And then you also just want to be alone. So you also don't want to move because you're thinking, maybe if I just lie here, do not move, then maybe this person will just leave. Is there
a way to deal with it? Like, do you take a kind of bath? Do you soak, like an Epsom salt bath? Or how do you, are you swollen? Do you have any bleeding? It's like, because for people that
I never bled. I never bled because I wasn't a virgin. I've been having anal sex since the age of 14. But
he did a lot of lube.
Well, I would demand it, yes. And
wait a minute, so he didn't want to lube you?
He wouldn't finger me, but I believe me, I made sure the lube was on the condom on the dick. And yes, there was always a condom involved.
No, it just makes me wonder, would he have wanted to tear your asshole up and have you bleed?
I don't know. I can get back to you on that, I guess.
Yeah, because you're saying he really didn't insist on the lube. You did.
Right. Well, right. I guess I'm one of these people, I'm putting lube on everything, but I have to, because I'm tight, and I think that's why he liked me, because I was so tight. And he would say these things because I'm an uptight person, and you know, anyone who visits me can see, you know, I have a big library. I'm always reading. I wear glasses, you know, and I speak very quickly. And I think for him, and he even admitted this once in the conversation, I really just enjoy the way you speak.